Hi, travel agents. Thank you all for joining us once again for this week's webinar. My name is Cindy, and I'll be your host as usual. So today we have a very exciting webinar with Ireland, home of Halloween, which is the perfect webinar for this month. And before we get started, I just want to go over some housekeeping rules. So if you have any questions, please drop it in the Q&A box below, and we'll get to the questions at the end of the webinar. We also have a prize giveaway prize today. So it is a Irish goodie box. So to qualify, make sure you stay all the way till the end of the webinar, and the winner will be chosen offline and notified early next week. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce our lovely presenters. So we have Lauren and Sandra here today. Hi, both. Thank you for joining.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Of course. Well, I'm sure the agents are excited to hear about what you have to say. So please just go right ahead.
All right, everybody. Kate Mila Falcha, welcome. My name is Sandra Moffatt. I'm the country manager here for Canada with Tourism Ireland. Our office is based in Toronto. And I'm also joined today by Lauren Lamonday, our business partnerships executive, who many of you, I'm sure, know very well. We are here today to obviously celebrate the season that's in it and talk about Ireland, the home of Halloween. I don't know if any of you know, but Halloween did begin in Ireland over 2,000 years ago. Or we say 2,000 years, it's probably been a lot longer than that, but we can track and prove that it has been 2,000 years. We will talk about what Halloween means, what it symbolizes, and some of the traditions that stem from Ireland. But first, I want to kick off just talking a little bit about our access and how easy it is to get from Canada to Ireland. If you want to just move on the slide there, Lauren. We're talking about Halloween today and the many reasons to travel to Ireland. So I just wanted to remind everybody of the many routes that we have available across Canada to get to Dublin. Direct to Vancouver seasonally, May through October, as well as Calgary on the WestJet Dreamliner. I don't know if any of you have taken that flight, but it's a fabulous flight. And we also offer non-stop direct access from Montreal, from Halifax, and new for this year, which we were very excited about, was the re-establishment of the St. John's, Newfoundland route. These routes are all performing really well, we hear, this year. So I also want to thank you all for helping us fill those seats and getting your clients on those planes. You're all doing an amazing job, and we're here to support you in whatever way that we can. As well as this, we do have direct year-round, non-stop daily flights to Toronto. So it's easy to get to us at any time of year. And in all honesty, fall is one of my favorite times at home. So that's why I'm really excited to be talking to you all about this season today. There's something in the air at this time of year. The weather is mild and comfortable. It ranges between 8 and 14 degrees around this season. And on autumn and winter as well is also an incredible time to soak up the cozy pubs, the festive atmosphere as we move out of the summer season. But as I said, we're here to talk about all things Halloween today. Ireland is the birthplace of Halloween, as I said, and it celebrates the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. And today we celebrate in an amazing, spectacular fashion. Lauren's going to bring you through all of the activities that we have going on the island in a little bit. But really, we're blending 2,000 plus years of history with world-class modern festivals, activities, and celebrations across the island. The Samhain festival, the ancient Celtic festival that spawned Halloween, marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of the darker half of the year. It's said at this time of year that it's when the boundary between the living and the spirit world was believed to blur and believed to be at its thinnest. So many modern Halloween traditions, like dressing up or lighting bonfires, carving pumpkins, trace back to these ancient customs. Has anyone ever tried barmbrack or ever heard of barmbrack? It's pictured here on the left. If you have, please pop a note in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And please do ask us questions along the way if you have any as well. Barmbrack here translates in the Irish language as speckled loaf, and you can see why. It's a traditional Irish sweet bread or cake, and it's enjoyed at all times of year, but especially and traditionally around Halloween or Samhain. It's fruit-filled. It's a yeast bread, often soaked in tea or often whiskey as well, and a lot of spices in it. But what makes it really special is the symbolism associated to it. So inside a barmbrack, traditionally, you would put a selection of trinkets. small symbolic items based inside the cake. You could have a ring, that would mean marriage is coming up in your near future. You would have a coin inside your barmbrack for wealth, or maybe a piece of cloth or a stick for some hard times. And families traditionally would slice the loaf after baking on Halloween night to see what fate the year ahead might bring. So that makes barmbrack both a festive treat and a playful bit of fortune telling at Irish Halloween gatherings. We call it the fruitcake that tells your fortune. I mentioned other traditions, so an example would be trick-or-treating and dressing up. So in Ireland, dressing up in costumes and lighting bonfires are time-honoured Halloween or again Samhain traditions that date back centuries. This is long before modern trick-or-treating. People used to disguise themselves in masks and costumes to confuse those wandering spirits thought to cross into the mortal world on Samhain. Bonfires were lit on hills and still are to this day. So on hills and in villages, they would be a powerful symbol of protection for the community. Their flames were believed to ward off evil and bring good fortune for the year ahead. And today, as I said, these ancient customs live on in a joyful mix of costumes, fires, festivities that light up every Halloween. And you see here as well, this is my own turnip that was carved in recent weeks. Traditionally, the Irish carved turnips instead of pumpkins. And it was when the Irish emigrated to North America en masse in the 1800s that then they weren't able to find as readily available, they weren't able to find turnips. So they carved pumpkins instead. And that's what is the traditional jack-o'-lantern. That's just a taste of things. Before I hand over Lauren to share more about Ireland and Halloween and the modern celebrations across Ireland today, I just want to kick things off with a short video highlighting our Ireland Home of Halloween campaign. We have a lot of video content and assets that we can provide you to share on your socials or with your clients, hopefully to tell the story of these ancient origins and really highlighting you guys as the destination expert for Ireland and encourage them to come and book their next trip with you to the island. So if you want to experience the real magic of Halloween, you have to come to where it all began, and we'll play a short video. We'll also pop it in the chat just in case it does buffer somewhat. We know it always doesn't play smoothly on these sessions.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sandra, for running through the traditions and the overall outline of Halloween and Samhain and how it takes place on Ireland. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some other festivals and events that take place across the island. So every year there's a wide range of celebrations that happen all over, from the Republic of Ireland to Northern Ireland. Different counties celebrate different festivals and different versions of Halloween. So you'll find a nice mix of quirky local fare, sprawling festivals that are really well known and become popular across the globe. So some of the parades and parties that blend magic and fun, a lot of them, the different regions choose different elements due to historical, local, and religious influences. For example, London Derry is actually home to Europe's biggest Halloween festival, and it's called Derry Halloween. You may have heard of it before. This is a great opportunity for yourselves or your clients to be able to walk the walled city, party at Guildhall Square, and then cap it off with a carnival parade and fireworks over the River Foyle. In County Meath, in the Boyne Valley, that's where we celebrate the Puka Festival over 4 days, and that actually starts to kick off next week as well. Lots of great events, including a Festival of Light at the Samhain Festival and Food of Culture, and these all take place around Trim in County Meath. In Dublin, there's the Fingal Festival of Fire and Light, and this is where the castles and gardens glow with fire shows, lantern displays, and lots of delicious food. There's also the Bram Stoker Festival, which is a thrilling horror-tinged celebration of the legendary author of Dracula, who was actually, Bram Stoker was born in Dublin. In Galway, we have Galliv Abu, is a festival that is a playground of myth and magic. And there's a famous parade there called the Mackinus Parade. So there's lots of spooky meals and eerie tours, lots of haunted opportunities there, haunted tours as well for your clients to experience. And then in the south in Kerry, there is, the Kalahiri, which is what is known as the Winter Witch. And there's lots of interesting storytelling, food fairs, and folklore all across the county there. One of the things a lot of people are interested in when they go to Ireland around Halloween is, where the top haunted places. So here's a couple images of the top 5 haunted places around Ireland. So on the top left, we have the Hellfire Club, which is in Dublin. So this is a secluded site that was where the worst of the 18th century idle rich were rumored to play cards with the devil. On the right, we have Seafield House, and this is in Sligo. And legend has it that no priest could exorcise the poltergeist from this one opulent 19th century county house. Bottom left corner is Ballygastle Castle in County Antrim, and it's said that you'll see the figure of a lady in the castle. Her name was Isabel, roaming the halls of Ballygally, and legend has it that Isabel was locked in a dungeon per se, and was not able to leave while she was giving birth, and eventually decided to try to escape, but did not survive the fall. And then we have here in the middle, that's Duckett's Groove in County Carlow. These are the Gothic ruins that have been haunted by a banshee who foretold the death of the Duckett family members. There's a little bit more history there we can share with you. And then finally on the right, you might recognize this. This is the Dark Hedges, which is in County Antrim. This was also a big part of the filming of Game of Thrones. So there's apparently a gray lady who glides silently along the tree line as it's getting into dusk. So those are some of the haunted places around the island of Ireland that your clients or yourself can visit. Autumn is a beautiful time to visit, and it's not just about Halloween or the Samhain festivals. There's a lot of wonderful spirit and folklore that happen throughout this time of year, and it's one of the most enchanting times to visit the island. It's a lot less busy, so the crowds start to fade. Pricing and availability on accommodation changes quite a bit, and the leaves and the colors become alive. As Canadians, we do see the fall leaves, but there's something magical about seeing those, on the bay of a castle, along the river, or go through one of these enchanted looking forests. So the colors are definitely beautiful, and highly recommend a visit in the fall. Cozy pubs, this is a wonderful time of year as things start to get a little bit cooler. It's a great opportunity to spend some time in a cozy pub. We often call these the old man pubs, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a few slides down. But this is a nice time for a bowl of chowder or a nice stew, and the atmosphere around live music and experiencing the culture that we have as well in all of these different locations. Atmosphere, castles, eerie woodlands, timeless traditions, they all echo through the centuries. So it's definitely a highly recommended time to visit Ireland. It's one of my favorite times to visit as well. And, just some of the mystical charm and the cultural depth that you'll experience throughout. A couple more images here showing just some of the beautiful hues that you can see in the light of this time of year as well. We have, as Sandra mentioned, we have some itineraries, and we have an entire, oh my gosh, I forgot the word. I'm so sorry. We have a guideline of basically all the logos and images that you can use to promote Ireland to your clients this time of year. So a couple opportunities for different experiences. So we have 2 different itineraries here, one for the south and one for the north. So this just gives you a couple of ideas of, where your clients can go and some things that they should definitely check out. So we can share a copy of this with you at the end of the webinar as well. And we also share it through our social media pages and everything. So it gives you some ideas of some route planning if you have FIT clients that are looking to travel in the autumn. We're talking obviously today about Halloween and autumn, but there is lots of different times to visit Ireland. We've got the winter season is a beautiful season as well. In January, we have Tradfest, which is the festival that celebrates Celtic music. So this takes place over 4 days. And, all over the island, there is live music taking place at lots of different restaurants, bars, venues, and it's a good opportunity if you're into the traditional Irish music to actually get that experience of the culture as well. We have lots of festivals that we celebrate other than Halloween, of course, as well. So we've got, of course, the St. Patrick's Festival that takes place in March. We celebrate Bloomsday, which takes place in June, and this is a festival that takes place directly in Dublin. We've got the Galway Oyster and Seafood Festival that also takes place in August, at the end of August, and is the biggest oyster festival in the world. So we've lots of opportunities to celebrate different festivals. It's actually what we call a huli, and that's what we celebrate. We celebrate any opportunity to have a good time. I mentioned Christmas and that season for traveling as well. You know, as of December 1st, the lights start to sparkle. The season is warm. We see the festivals open, some beautiful Christmas markets across the island. So as you can see, we've got festivals in Belfast, Dublin, Waterford, Cork, Galway. But there's Christmas festivities all happening throughout the entire month of Dublin, and it's absolutely entire month of December, sorry. And it's absolutely beautiful time to visit. Highly recommend your clients visit during December. The resources that we have available, if you are looking to promote Ireland to your clients, of course, is our website, which is ireland.com. There's lots of great trip ideas and route planners on there. There's also some other sample itineraries if you want to do some more FIT planning. We have a content pool. We just actually relaunched this content pool, and there's a lot of great assets available. So if you're looking for images or photos, even some videos, you can download those completely free. You just have to create an account, and then you can use all of that content as well. We have our monthly e-zines, which go out and share lots of information about product updates, new hotels that have opened, perhaps upcoming events and festivals. And then we also have our Facebook page. So if you're not a member of our Facebook page, this is completely dedicated to the Canadian market itself. So we just ask you to answer a couple of questions because we want to ensure everybody who participates in this is an advisor. And here we'll talk a little bit more about our events and festivals that happen. So if we're doing a sales mission or we have contests or any giveaways like that, we'll post that on our Facebook page. We'll also share new product updates and stuff as well as there. These are the toolkits that we were talking about a little bit. So we have our brand campaign that we're right now is the Fill Your Heart with Ireland campaign. So you might have seen some of that content. This is available, all the images and logos you can use and download for yourself if you want to promote Ireland through that campaign. But then we have the seasonal ones that happen at different times of the year. So obviously right now we have Halloween, and this is where it's also the autumn festival. So it also will have the itineraries I talked about in there. So we'll share that with you as well. Mentioned upcoming events. So we will be touring Canada next April. So April 13th to 17th, we will be on the east coast of Canada. So we will be starting in St. John's, Newfoundland. Then we'll be going to Halifax, Moncton, and Montreal. So if you are in those cities, please stay tuned. Or if you're close to those cities, please stay tuned for information on how you can register to attend those events. That brings us to the end. Do we have any questions?
Awesome. Thank you for that great, short and sweet informational webinar. All right, agents, if you have any questions, please drop in the Q&A box and we'll answer it right away. Well, while we wait for the agents, speaking of festivals and haunted houses, have either of you been? And if you have, what was your favorite part about it? Okay, we do have a question here from Jane. So Jane wants to know, will these events be in the evening so storefront agents can attend? If you both know the answer to that.
We're finalizing the event details at the moment. It's April, so it's next year. We try to do them. We get lots of feedback about the timing of events, and we try and accommodate as many people as possible. We will likely have them in later afternoon, so that hopefully that people maybe who are storefront agents can, maybe not make the first half an hour, but will still be able to join the bulk of the events, looking at, maybe 4 to 6 p.m., 4 to 6:30 p.m. timing. But more information to come in the coming weeks.
Awesome. All right, well, it looks like the agents don't have any more questions. Again, agents, I'll also be sending a follow-up email. So all the links and YouTube videos that we have sent in the chat, I'll also send it to you all afterwards. So with that being said, Laura and Sandra, any last minute words for the agents on why they should book clients to go to Ireland?
Lauren's heading over to Ireland herself next week to attend the Puka Festival. So watch out on our Facebook group. You'll see lots of behind the scenes content there.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, once again, thank you, Lauren and Sandra, for the presentation, and thank you, agents, for being here with us today. And yeah, well, that is it. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.